This is attempt number 2 to record episode 17.
Time's the charm.
You missed a really terrible game of Mind Meld.
We're gonna do it again.
We're gonna do it again.
Yeah. Okay. So just to catch you guys up, we recorded about how long do you think we recorded before we realized it was not recording?
Oh,
like 10
at
minutes?
least 10 minutes.
Yeah. So we've been speaking to no one for 10 minutes, but now we're gonna do it properly. We're gonna. That was a good warm up.
Yeah.
You know, I think we should do that every week. We should just 10 minutes get into the episode.
Let's record 2 podcasts, one that we don't record and then one that we try to recreate while recording. Yeah. All right, let's start the intro.
All right. Hello and welcome to the... Fuck, I was gonna say Blue Sky again. Hello and welcome to No Rewrites.
We changed the name.
Episode 17.
17.
Wait, making sure. Recording? Everything's recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we want to do is, before we get really into it, we want to warm up, although we are pretty warm, but let's do one for the
maybe the
recorded version.
second round of Mind Meld will go better and we'll feel a little more connected.
Yeah. And
so Mind Meld, we're going to both start with a random word, and then each subsequent try, we're going to get closer and closer to saying the exact same word at the exact same time.
Got it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, fridge.
Lamp.
Fridge, lamp.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, house.
kitchen.
House, kitchen. 3, 2, 1, cooking. Cooking room. Damn.
We kind of burned kitchen already.
Shit. 3, 2, 1, stove.
Microwave.
Stove,
Dude,
microwave.
We just keep missing it.
Yeah, it's going to
Right
be one of those.
Wait, stove and cooking. Stove and microwave.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, cooking. Hot cooking. 3, 2, 1, flame.
Apron flames.
3, 2, 1, chef. Yeah, we got
Buddy.
it. Okay, good.
Buddy.
Good.
There was a moment I saw in your eyes. I could tell in your eyes what you were going to say.
Yeah.
I think we're warmed up.
I think so.
we're warmed up.
Yeah. Picture us doing that 2 more times.
Yeah.
Punishing you with that.
Yeah. You guys got lucky.
Okay, so we're going to do what we do every episode. We're going to pull out a prompt, and we're going to write the first draft of a short film, and we're not going to do any rewrites, hence the name.
No rewrites.
And then we're going to just talk about it and have a nice time.
Literally, I'm like trying to think what else I said when we were not recording because that was interesting or like important. The only other thing, I was like, what if, and we would like you guys to chime in if you guys can email us for once. Which at, what's the email?
norewritespod@gmail.com.
norewritespod@gmail.com. What if the prompts become just, we put in movie titles? Like just ideas that we have. Like I was thinking Mind Meld is a movie title. You know, we put those into prompts and then we have to work backwards to write what that script would be for that title.
Right.
And that'd be pretty cool.
That could be cool.
You know?
And I also do like the idea of having like a sort of mid-writing prompt where it's like a line or a prop or a location that kind of jostles the thing.
The main character has to have a cane or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. And yeah, we're going to run out of ideas really soon. So stuff like that's going to be great.
Yeah. But today we got some ideas from last week left over because we don't remember what we wrote. We just picked one of 10 last week. So we have 9 in this bowl. So let's move on to the next section.
Let's go to the next section.
The prompt.
Okay. Next section. Okay. I'm reaching into the bowl. I'm not looking. I am not looking.
Okay.
Okay, I found one.
All right.
It's face down right now.
Okay.
I'm about to flip it over.
Okay.
Are you ready, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's another one I wrote. Plot twist.
Plot twist.
It just has to have a plot twist in it.
Jeez.
I know.
It's pretty vague.
I know. Don't you love it?
Yeah. Okay. It opens up.
Yeah.
So what
movies come to mind?
What movies come to mind?
First one for me is Prestige. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, Usual Suspects.
Right.
These are full of spoilers too, so if you haven't watched any of these movies, apologize. But Usual Suspects, we think that Kevin Spacey's character is just like this weak, simple man who just happened to be there amidst all these crimes, and then we find out at the end that he's Kaiser Sose, he's the bad guy.
Kind of reflects his real life.
Oh yeah, plot twist.
This whole time you're like,
it's so meta.
It's so meta, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, American Psycho. Nah, yeah, I get. Oh, that's a huge plot twist, actually. Yeah.
I don't remember that one. I remember the movie, but I don't remember the plot twist.
It's the fact, isn't it that like?
I just remember what's his name, Christian Bale wearing a raincoat.
Yeah,
is a movie about rain?
It's
weather.
The plot twist was it was sunny the whole time. It's like the Jared Leto's character doesn't exist, or the person he's been obsessed with is like himself. Like I can't right now I can't remember fully, but it's like it was like a dream kind of thing where
also like Fight Club has that.
Oh, huge twist.
Yeah, Tyler Durden was
big spoiler
him the whole time.
Yeah, Brad Pitt, Edward Norton are the same person in that film.
Same guy. See, I think that's a lesson in life. You know, you think you need something, you think you want to be this kind of person. Maybe you're already that kind of person. Kector's going to town on your coat right now. He's got no game. He's fine.
He's just like so fascinated by the jacket. Wait, Get Out.
Get Out.
That was a big twist.
Oh yeah.
Especially because when you think like for a minute you're like maybe the girlfriend's on his side, and then there's that moment where at the end where he's like, give me the keys, and she opens a purse and she's like, I can't find them, and then she just brings the keys out and she's like, oh, here they are, and her face just changes and you're like, oh fuck, she's a villain.
Yeah.
Oh, such a good twist.
And like Midsommar.
Is there a twist?
Well, yeah, because you think they're just going to fucking eat mushrooms in this cool
fair, and then it turns out to be a huge cult,
and then it's a huge cult thing, and
touche.
Die except the girl.
The Matrix, I guess it says here. Memento, huge twist where it's basically him. Do you remember Memento?
Yes.
Do you remember the twist?
Or say, which is yes backwards.
Whoa, you did see it. Oh my God, you did watch that film.
I don't remember it though because I watched it in film school and that was 20 years ago.
That's such a film school film.
Yeah.
You know, it's
like,
yeah.
That's why I shot everything on film and still paying that off.
That's one of my goals. I want to shoot like a short or a feature on film. Oh, I know. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy or like thing, but you have to have the right team. If the cinematographer and the first AC and the
technically it's not hard. It's just expensive.
Yeah, fair.
And ultimately pointless.
I don't know. I used to think like I remember like listening to like interviews of directors being like, oh, we wanted to shoot on film, and I'm like, dude, just shoot it digital. There's so many sexy cameras and blah blah blah. But I don't know. I can like Succession, for example, was shot on film.
Oh.
And it's interesting when I see shows that are on film or films that are on film these days now, and then I look at other films, I'm like, I get it. There's like this warmth to it. There's like this, it feels like you're watching.
Texture, like Dream Scenario was shot on film.
Yeah, and even
for sure.
Watching Happiness yesterday, I'm like, there's something about it. You're like more submerged that you're watching a film as opposed to digital. Sometimes comes off like I'm watching, it could be like the most expensive film, but it just feels like you're watching make believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where film makes you feel like, oh my God, this feels like real. Like Goodfellas feels like these people exist in real life.
True.
You know?
True.
But plot twist, that's not what the podcast is about. Back to this. Wait, what the fuck? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a plot twist film? Get out of here.
How's that? Oh, because the Manson family rips in and...
that's not a plot, I guess. Parasite plot twist.
Parasite, big
That
time.
shit threw me off. When you find out there's a whole other storyline with the basement and everything.
So good. I remember seeing that movie in LA at the DGA theater, and like they announced it, like director Bong was there.
Oh shit!
And like a bunch of the cast, and like the guy who announced it was like, "You're about to see something really special." I'm like, okay, wah, wah. And then I saw it and was like, holy shit, this is special. Like,
yeah.
Such a good movie.
There's a few movies that, especially the best ones are the ones where you don't realize you're walking into watching something that's going to change cinema or just be a huge deal to cinema.
Yeah.
Because like, even when I watched Parasite, I went to TIFF because it was like only playing at TIFF at that point, I think. And I went to watch Irishman. And because it was a Netflix
Plot
film.
twist, those guys are old as fuck.
Plot twist, Joe Pesci looks like a glove. I went to watch Irishman because it was like limited release and it was like sold out, and I was like bummy about it. And then I'm like, I keep hearing about Parasite. People like, because at festivals it was doing really well. I'm like, we could check it out. And we went in on a whim, not even planned.
That's
and
the best way to see any good movie.
Yeah. I left that film being like, holy fucking, like this. Whoa.
Yeah.
Like I got lucky that night that Irishman was sold out.
Yeah.
It was like, that was pretty cool. It's hard these days, man. Every film, I feel like I know too much about it. I try so hard not to watch trailers anymore.
Could you say you scored Sazy that night? Because you scored, you got the prize.
But what do you mean Sazy though? What's a Sazy though?
Well, wasn't the Irishman Scorsese?
Yeah, but what do you mean scored Sazy?
Yeah, the back end's a stretch. Yeah.
Could you say
all puns are?
Could you say you scored?
Says he?
He tried to make it work.
Dumb. Should we just go to the next section now, or are we done?
Are we done? Oh, well,
we're just gonna start riffing stuff because
like
the thing is pretty vague. We can't like really.
Yeah, I'm like looking at these films. I'm like, there's not much connective tissue. So yeah, let's go blue sky this shit.
Okay.
sky.
Okay. So,
Sorry. Yeah.
welcome to the blue sky part where we riff an idea. Both of us are feeling pretty
Groggy.
busted today, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
know, man, it's the weather, dude.
Plot twist. This episode's gonna suck.
Is that a plot twist?
Probably not.
Okay. Plot twist.
Judging
okay.
by those red circle numbers, probably not. But we love you if you listen to this.
Whoever that
Email
one
us.
person, yeah. Okay, plot twist. So some of my favorite movies are plot twist movies, and I get very excited when there's a new plot twist film that it's plot twist. You know what? Let's find the definition. We this is the blue sky section, but maybe this will kind of help. Just a little bit more research on the prompt. A plot twist is a literary technique that introduces a radical change in the direction or expected outcome of the plot in work of fiction. When it happens near the end of a story, it is known as a twist or surprise ending. So yeah, you're going one way, and then right turn, right? Usually it is at the end or near the end. So it's like this whole film, you've thought one thing, like Fight Club. You're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Brad Pitt and Edward Norton are gonna bring it down, and now Edward Norton's against him, and this friendship's gonna break, and blah blah. And then you're like, wait a minute, this whole time, Brad Pitt was just like a figment of Edward Norton's imagination.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm going to mention a movie right now that's out and like doing stuff, and I think it's up for a bunch of awards. So earmuffs for 5 seconds.
Have I seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saltburn. There's a plot twist in that movie.
I do not like that plot twist.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I was just like, I was like on the edge of liking that movie the whole time.
Same, yeah, dude, 100%. I was rooting for it. I'm like, this is gonna be a good fucking film.
Yeah, I wanted to like it, and like I was super engrossed. I was like very stoned, and like a lot of times my mind wanders. In that case, because it was like in the middle of a weed break, I decided to smoke a bit of weed, and it fucked me up.
Yeah, that movie high is really
but it sucked me in, and in the end, I'm like, really.
Dude, that's exact same sentiment. Because I was like the whole time, I'm like, oh my god, this might be one of my favorites of the year. I'm like, this has got me involved. I'm like into it. The music's great. The cinematography, the acting,
acting's very
so good. And then
that
again,
Felix guy is so charming.
Which one? Jacob Elordi?
Like the guy that
Jacob Elordi.
Yeah.
Like the guy. So again, earmuffs. Spoiler alert. Yeah. That when the guy who dies.
Yeah.
When he dies is when the movie goes to shit, and it's not because he died. It's just the reason he dies. The fact that I always forget his name up. Keegan has been plotting since day one, and it doesn't make sense because then part of your plot. Sorry, I'm gonna vent a little bit. Okay, was part of his plot that everyone dies, or most people start dying. Then he leaves, and then for 10 years he just waits till the dad dies, and then he's like, now to resume my plot.
Now to go to this coffee shop on this very specific day.
Yeah, and then even the scene me and my buddy talk about, like if you've seen this, like there's this moment where he's like typing on the laptop. And they show it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you don't need that. Like that was such a student film kind of. Oh, he was fucking around. Yeah. Writing FGHs.
There was no spaces in that paragraph. Okay. We'll stop talking about spoiler stuff. But that's the thing. Like, also, it's all spoilers. But like, there's an episode of Black Mirror where the couple's on a date.
Oh, I love that.
And then it turns out that they're just like a sentient algorithm, and like it's just going through all the probabilities of whether or not they'll be in love. I thought that was pretty cool. I think like a really a major thing is like, what kind of story do we want to tell right now? Like what will inform that plot twist? Because like a plot twist isn't a genre, so we can tell any kind of story we want. We just have to put a plot twist in there.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very good point. It could be a love story with a plot twist. It could be a dark thriller with a plot twist. It could be a comedy with a plot twist.
Yeah.
You know?
So is it a movie about two people falling in love and it turns out they're cousins? Or fraternal twins separated at birth?
That's even funnier.
Is it going to be a comedy? Like, do we need to draw a secondary prompt to inform what the thing is?
That's unheard of.
That's unprecedented. That's a plot twist.
Whoa. Should we?
I mean, maybe, because like, well, should we? Because we did reset the prompt from the first go that we didn't fucking record. Should we just use that? No, that's too easy.
No, because that's not a plot twist.
Yeah,
that's a pre-twist.
That's just like that.
That's lazy.
That makes it too easy. Yeah. But I don't know what else is in there. If it's like fucking
yeah, it's another weird like
dumb vague prompt, it might not work.
Are you calling my prompt dumb and vague, dude?
Sorry.
How dare you?
Sorry.
Okay.
Anything I do is dumb and vague. So
There we go. Okay.
yeah,
Equal.
I'm just sucking you into my vortex.
Okay,
of
should I just pick another one?
self-loathing.
Are we doing this?
I think so because like, well, let's wait. Let's wait.
I already picked one.
Okay,
Okay.
fuck
No.
it.
Wait.
Well, I'm just like, can we come up with a story like what the fuck?
I agree with you where we could be very vague. We've done this before. We've gotten some shit before where we're like, okay, what do we turn the story into or whatever? Like we don't have like a genre. It's more like, yeah. So we could just try. I was going to say, do we go meta about it? Because we don't have a genre. Do we make it about someone, like, do we call on the fact that the whole story is about a plot twist, which I've never seen before? You know?
Yeah, I don't.
Is it about a writer who's trying to find a plot twist? Is it about like a love story, but he knows that something's wrong and it's like a narration kind of film?
Let's look at another prompt.
Okay, so I've already pulled out another prompt while we were talking.
Let's get
about
another
this.
get. Okay.
So it's going to be a plot twist set in, and hopefully this is not vague. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. I wrote this one too. In a monster universe. Like a
Okay, monster
film.
plot twist.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, so like guys trying to hunt this monster, and he's
Maybe
like,
they're the
and he's the
monsters.
fucking monster.
Yeah.
End of episode.
We did this. That's a film. Okay, so just to reiterate, because we had to pull out a second prompt.
We needed help. We're not.
And I think this is what the future of this podcast is. I think we do need multiple prompts where one is a vague one, like plot twist, or
Yeah.
the mother is the killer, like just one piece of information we have, and then the second prompt is the genre.
Yeah.
So I'm actually pretty happy we did that because it makes it so much more interesting.
Yeah.
Should we pull out another one and just see if it tells a story for us?
Let's just.
We just make it. Okay, this is the script. We're just pulling out like sentences at one point. We're just writing it as like.
Let's type into ChatGPT what this could be.
Okay. So the reason I was thinking of monster when I put that in is because you're really obsessed with Monarch right now. Is it
Yeah,
Monarch?
I finished it. Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but you said it's really good.
It's awesome. At the beginning, I'm like, okay, this is fine. Popcorn, like we'll eat it. We'll watch it eating dinner or whatever. And then they just earned it so much. The character development is really great. The multiple timelines are really great,
Nice.
and it all just like it all sings once it like you get later in the season.
And is the whole show about Godzilla and Kong?
It's about the Titans, and it's about the Monarch is like this sort of like Men in Black style company that like is overseeing like trying to plug holes where the Titans come in through these weird portals. But
Titans are monsters.
Godzilla is a Titan.
Okay.
King Kong is a Titan. Mothra, like they're all that. So like they end up like tracking these weird radiation anomalies that Titans are attracted to. And there's like family drama, and there's like characters with a deep, rich history,
Right.
and they're all like being swirled around. It's really good. There's a great plot twist in that I will not ruin.
Okay, sweet.
So lovely to watch it. Kudos to the people who made it because they did a really fucking good job.
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay,
really
no,
great.
definitely check that out. I haven't seen a monster thing in so long, but
But I like this idea of a hunt for a monster, and it could be like a Jekyll and Hyde thing.
I was gonna say, do we go monster more like old school, like Frankenstein, Jekyll and Hyde, like more like the classics instead of Godzilla?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think it should be like a Titan.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. Like more of a
troll,
cerebrally troll thing. I like trolls. Werewolf.
Okay.
If the guy's looking for the monster, he's like, werewolf. Where? I don't see it anywhere.
It's Tarzan looking for it. Like
Yeah.
werewolf. Tarzan, werewolf.
God damn it. Today's just not the day, is it?
I'm gonna just list monsters. Okay. You said Jekyll. I've always loved Jekyll and Hyde.
Hyde?
I really want to see, and I would like to maybe even take a crack at it one day if no one makes it by then. Is a very like character-driven, rich, like plot twisty film about Jekyll and Hyde. Because it's such a cool fucking character. It's Fight Club in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And if it's Jekyll and Hyde, like the monster just like hides the whole time, so he can't be found.
You sure? I think we're gonna do a third name change for this podcast called Pun and Jokes.
Called
Pun and Games. Pun and
Please
Games.
be quiet.
Frankenstein. Give me another one. Jekyll, Frankenstein.
Like
Werewolf?
troll, werewolf. Oh man, I'm gonna look it up. But there's this this legend from Sydney, Nova Scotia. Not Sydney, but like Cape Breton, Kelly's Mountain. There's like a mountain sort of in the middle of the island, and there's like a monster called the Weber there.
The Weber.
The Weber.
That
It's like a
sounds
dog
creepy.
with webbed feet or something.
Whoa, I thought it was be spider related.
I'm gonna have to look
I'm
up
just gonna move this mic real quick.
monster. No, I can't find anything on it. Maybe it's just
Oh, I got something. I got an idea.
What?
I got a little story idea.
There's a missing Weber monster. Google search.
It's kind of similar to Shudder, where it's like, what if it's about this guy who hunts monsters, and he gets a letter. It's like it starts off like he's like fucking. He doesn't want to do this life anymore, but he is the best man for the job, kind of thing. Sorry, one sec.
No, silence your shit. We're recording a podcast.
Yeah, sorry. So he's like, I'm trying to think of a character, but it's like some guy who's like a very successful monster catcher, right? And he's called to help this like village, and he goes to help, and he starts asking around for questions, and someone's like, you should leave and whatever. Basically, and again, this is such a weird kind of writing thing with people listening in the podcast, because we have to talk about the plot twist that usually would surprise someone, but we have to kind of talk about it as like our main point of like the blue sky. Mm-hmm. But what if the plot twist is that they called him there, but they're a village of monsters and they just want to fucking kill him, so they called him in to take care of a monster.
And
he goes deeper, and
but they want to feed him to the monster.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that could be cool. Interesting.
I like that. It also makes me think of that movie. That made me think of the movie The Village, the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I always want to watch that. It's the not to. I mean, again,
there's a monster in a village. There's like this creepy thing who's like killing people in the village, but there's a plot twist.
Okay, because I want to watch it. I want to ask you. I think I know what the plot twist is. Can I say it? Ask it.
Of course.
Is it the fact that like they're actually not even in 1920s or whatever? It's like in current time. Isn't that one of the plot twists?
I don't think so. I don't remember that part. I just remember that. Should I tell you?
No. If that's not it, then that's exciting, because then I'll watch it.
Yeah, I don't remember that part, but there is like a plot twist.
How do we not think of Sixth Sense? Huge plot twist. That was one of the biggest plot twists of the 20th century.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis is bald.
Yeah,
that's the plot twist.
I thought he had hair this whole time.
Okay, so you like that kind of train of thought a bit?
I do like the sort of like a group of black widow spiders luring prey and just sort of spinning a web and killing him or feeding him to this monster. Or maybe it's either they're all monsters or there is a monster in the town. That's true. But they have to sacrifice someone to it, and they don't want to sacrifice any of their own people, so they bring detectives in to like.
Yeah. So plot twist on plot twist, because that's another thing I was thinking could be fun, because the whole fucking prompt is plot twist. Is what if we do like the thing where it's like gun on this person, and then you find out that they're being betrayed and they're being betrayed. So what if it's actually he goes into the village, and they think they've got him, and they're like, all the villages you've been to, you've caught the monster, but the people always die. You're always too late, whatever. Or whatever the reason is, that even though he saves these villages, they usually take a lot of toll. What if he's actually a monster? So he fakes that he's like a detective.
Yeah.
And then that's another way to plot twist it, right?
It works either way. Like he's basically like generating his own work.
Yeah.
Like he gets paid to hunt monsters, but he is the monster in...
But so say it's fucking Detective Roger or whatever the fuck, Detective Jekyll, and he's like going to this village because of the news that there's a monster in that village. Did he make that fake monster up? Why is he going to that village?
No, because he could preempt his arrival as the detective, as the world's leading monster hunter by going there and starting to eat people, and then people are like, hey, we got to call this guy to come fix this situation.
But then why not just keep killing them if he's already doing it?
Because he needs money to like pay fucking rent, because we live in a capitalist hellscape.
It becomes about Toronto.
Food is super. I guess he doesn't have to worry about food if he's eating people, but he's gotta pay rent.
What year is this in?
He's gotta do car payments.
What year is this in?
2024, man. It fucking sucks.
Damn, that's scary. 2024. That's scary.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a period piece or something if you want, but it seems maybe like. They should have access to the internet, maybe early 2000s. It's a vaguely advanced year.
Just enough. Internet exists. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the. So again, okay, let's play it out because now, even though I've said this new idea, I've been like maybe the original is better, where it is the village that's monsters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Or they're feeding him to a thing. Like he could, like the opening scene could be awesome. Like just a guy, like, you know, a moody dark scene, and this guy's just like running, and then he falls down, and it clearly something's chasing him, and then eventually he gets eaten. But he kind of looks detective-y or whatever, and then we go to the village, and they're like, we have to. The thing about the village thing is, like, how do we establish that? Like, cause like, would we? Or we'd have to kind of do it all from the detective's perspective, I think, because like the village wouldn't be like, now we have to call someone.
No, yeah. What I would do is, like, I love the teaser you just said, where it's like the opening scene is someone dying, right, getting killed. And for the fun of it, do you want to do that because he has to take a boat over, so it's a bit more secluded? So it's like Newfoundland or something, or if it is Canadian,
Newfoundland.
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, or like Sable Island. There's an island called Sable Island, sort of in between Nova Scotia and Newfoundland.
That's pretty cool.
With like, it's just got a bunch of wild horses, and my friend made a fucking amazing documentary about it. It's
what's
nuts.
it called? Let's plug it.
Shit.
It's amazing, but not the name.
Let me tell you, it won a bunch of awards, but I can't fucking remember the name of it. I'm so sorry, Jackie. I'm gonna have to.
So I'm just gonna fill this dead air right now.
Yeah, please.
So I was gonna say, I do think the teaser is he gets like chased and eaten. This like random new character we don't know who it is. Like it's like
it's called Geographies of Solitude.
Geographies of Solitude.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a while, and my brain is.
I'll check it out. I'll
devolving.
check it out.
It's
totally
very cool, but it's like super isolated. In the movie's about this woman who just sort of like catalogs the plastic that washes up on the shore, and like sort of passively takes care of the horses, and it's just sort of this like the shepherd of the island, but there's no one there, you know. That could be cool if it's not a village. It's like one person on this random island. We won't do Sable Island, so we don't like you know,
Cable Island.
It's one person on an island who's like, hey, I live out here alone. Something's been killing the deer that I oversee. I don't know what it is. And then the guy goes, and like they go on this thing.
My only one thing, I do like this a lot. My only one worry is if you're a viewer watching this, right away you're like, it's one person on this fucking island. I'm pretty sure it's her that's killing everyone.
Yeah, but if you like if you talk about this monster and like talons, and there's like these gouges, maybe they are a bit of a titan. Maybe they do like werewolf style transform into something bigger.
Is it this woman that turns into it?
I would think so. Like that would be a thing.
Or is it her lover?
Or her lover? Yeah, this dude who, or it's kind of like that reminds me of like Let the Right One In.
I don't know what that is.
It's that vampire. There's like a Swedish vampire movie. I think it's Swedish or Norwegian.
Oh, you told me about this. I haven't seen it. Yeah.
And like basically about like the vampire's familiar. You know what that is?
No.
The familiar is like the sort of human counterpart to the vampire who like gets people to come over to the house, and like then the vampire can feed on them.
You told me this. Yeah. That's a pretty fucking cool idea.
Yeah, very cool. So it could be something like that.
So let's go beat by beat, because the opening I think is, I do love this idea of starting with someone like a monster beginning, where it's like someone running through the woods, and it's like, and then he's like, he thinks he's fine,
Footsteps.
and then hurried footsteps. Get that right.
Yeah.
And then he maybe falls over a twig or some shit as they do.
Snap.
It's like Barbarian a little bit when he goes underneath the basement and then he meets that monster.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That had a cool plot twist, that movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Great movie.
So fucking good. His next one's gonna be sick. That director, I can't remember his name right now, but I'm excited for it. And then so the movie begins like, this guy's running, he falls, monster comes and eats him, and is like, no, and then just goes to black credits. Oh, yeah. Right. And then I was thinking the next scene is you hear a foghorn, and it's like you said, you shouldn't go to the villagers' like perspective because they're the plot twist. You cut to the ship it's arriving, and as it's arriving, maybe there's a narration of a letter being like, Mr. Jekyll, we would like your services or whatever, and you can see as he's coming to this thing, you hear the narration of why he's here.
Yeah,
like a voiceover, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
that's one cheesy way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a short film in the first draft of one, so like I feel like I said this before to all the billions of people that listen to this. Like my first drafts of like my actual stuff is always like the dialogue is generally just the characters telling each other how they feel about things, and then you go in and you like bury it in subtext and like action and looks or whatever. Totally, that works for me. I like that. I like this island thing because then there's no there's no clear means of escape.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know what made me think of this, but it would be cool to do something weird of how the monster ingests people. And like, what if it like pukes this weird bile on them? So like, you know how flies like just kind of like spit goop all over food and then they slurp it up. The enzymes break down your food because they don't just eat shit. They like break it down and then slurp it up. But imagine if when it slurps, like you get this bile all over you.
Sorry, 1 second. Flies do what?
They like literally spit like bile onto the food. So if you like have a piece of pizza and it lands on the pizza, it's not just like pizza. It like goes blah and like spits all this shit on it and like sucks it up. Because the shit like digests it. It's kind of like
That's
like
so
how
interesting.
birds eat food or birds chew on food and give it to their babies.
Yeah.
But
that's
a fly.
super interesting. Sorry, go on.
It's disgusting.
So that
Bugs
same
are
method.
gross. So the bile spit, but then when the person gets sucked up, they're like spaghettification happens. Like, you know, when you get sucked into a black hole, and it's like,
well, when they get the bile on them, is it almost like they get acidy?
It's like they don't get acidy and melt, but it like breaks down your composition somehow.
So
and
when
then
he
like,
sucks them,
and then it's just like, and then like their legs get all spaghettified and they just get all stretched out. So it's like a really creepy, fucked up death. There should be like a very visceral, weird thing that happens when it ingests things.
That was the cool thing about. Have you seen Nope?
Yup. I love that movie.
I don't want to talk about it. I just wanted to do that bit.
Yeah.
No, but I do like
so
how
good.
I do like how the monster, whatever the fuck it was so interestingly like the way it would eat people up and it would go through this tube.
Oh yeah.
And then it would just spit out the blood and change and everything.
Yeah,
like,
all the non-digestible stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, just such a good movie. I think that's my favorite Jordan Peele movie.
I don't know. I liked it. There were just too many moments.
Awesome, but like you kind of just put that on the shelf as it's known that is
the best,
the one. Yeah. But Nope, man.
Nope visually was fucking beautiful and like had eeriness. And I love the monkey story with Stephen Ewan. But it gets so cheesy at some points, man. I don't know. There's moments of it where I didn't love it, but it's really good. To me, it's way better than Us. I don't know if you watched Us.
I didn't love Us. I liked it. I really enjoyed watching it. I just like going to those worlds. But man, Nope just did it for me. Nope was like. Jordan Peele's like, I'm gonna make a movie that Jono fucking loves.
It's for you, Jono. It's like in the beginning. It's like, how does he know me? Get Out though, yeah. Get Out's one of those few films where it's like you can't poke holes in it. There's no like it's like unfathomable. It's like it's so like undisputedly just
tight,
brilliant.
Tight.
Yeah.
Okay, so island, big death. Guy goes to a secluded place. Jury's still out on whether or not it's going to be one person or like a small village or just like a family.
Okay, so island.
It could be interesting if it was a family, like an older couple with a couple, like maybe 3 kids, and there's like a youngest kid who like you would never suspect, and the youngest kid is the monster. You know,
and then you even kind of show like when he shows up, the kid's like all shy behind his mom, and it's kind of cute at first. And you're like, oh, and then you find out that he's
and they. For some reason, the main character, like in a non-creepy way, like bonds with the kid. Like they identify the most with this kid because like,
he becomes a monster.
And then that's the luring. You know what I mean? That's part of the web being spun.
Sorry, real quick. Are you saying that there's only one family on the island?
I kind of like that because it keeps it reeled in, or it could just be a small village.
So here's the thing. That works. Sorry, here's an idea. Sorry, not a thing.
I just got on this Geographies of Solitude film by Jackie Mills, and I thought that there's like a cool backdrop.
Oh no, I love
something like that.
I was watching this one show. What's his name? The guy who made like Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor. He has a name. Oh, Mike Flanagan, and it's called the Flanaverse in Netflix now because he has so many.
Okay.
Yeah. He's in so many, and they're just always entertaining. And he has he loves Stephen King, so he got a lot of it. He did Dr. Sleep. He directed that as well. So he's very like
no.
You have a pun.
No. I have another movie to talk about.
But this one film, a show I watched from him is called Midnight Mass, and it's this little village very similar to this, where it's like you need boats to get in and out. And what happens is a priest leaves for like a while for whatever, like the pilgrimage or whatever, and then a new one comes to replace him, and it's the new young guy, and through the show you find out that he's a vampire. Or some kind of, it's like they introduce a new kind of vampire. Like it's a creature, not even really a vampire really. And you find out that the old 80-year-old priest that left, this young guy is actually him. But he got younger. It's really interesting.
That's cool.
And then half the village starts getting divided because they're like, he wants to give this blood to everyone, being like, we can all be like me and fucking. But then you have to feed on blood. So, but he comes from a place of good, so it's even harder because you kind of like him, but then he's like preaching all these God things and also the creature things, and he's basically saying the creature is our God now.
Right.
And half the village believes him and is like, fuck yeah, I want immortality and all this shit. And then half the village is like, but you have to start killing people for that.
Right.
So there's like this constant thing.
Yeah, that's cool. It's like the moral conundrum.
It's the whole.
I don't love the vampire thing, but.
I don't want to call it vampire because it's like vampire. They steal stuff like biting and stuff.
Right.
But it's not really a vampire.
Right.
It's a weird monster, really.
Okay.
But what's interesting about that, similar to this, is like, because there's like this divide. Oh, the show, by the way. So what you said about the moral conundrum. He wrote this show because he was so curious about growing up about religion. So it's like his way as in a horror film to talk about religion. It's really cool, man.
Very cool.
Check it out.
So you say it's like the Flaniverse?
Flaniverse.
So when people are like scrolling through Netflix and they find another movie that ends up being in the Flaniverse, they're like, oh, it's Flanagan.
You had a pun. And
no, I wasn't. That came after. It came after. But and now I forgot the movie I was going to bring. Cabin in the Woods.
I really like that film.
Yeah, that's a good twist.
That's a really good one. Yeah, that's a very meta twist. That was a super meta twist.
Love it.
So the reason I brought it's called Midnight Mass up is because that show shows that imagine that show, this is like a sequel to that show where the village has become like, yeah, we're down to be evil. Mm-hmm. Right? And they're saying, and again, obviously not a ripoff. We're not going to continue that story actually, but imagine this little child, they believe is a second coming of like the devil or some shit, right? And the village, if you want to make it more than a family, is what I was trying to say. Is like they're all like, we need to feed this child so that everyone stays happy and the fruits keep blooming and all these things keep happening because they're thriving because of this child, and they have to keep giving him sacrifices.
Yeah.
So when this guy comes, everyone's nice to him. The family's nice, and I do love the fact that's a kid. And
technically, we're not ripping that off because I thought of that idea before you told that story.
Well, yeah, and the only thing I'm taking from that is that why is the village down to do it? Is I like that they've what that show does is like they've kind of come to this belief that like this is gonna help us, right? So
yeah, maybe everyone on the island is like stunningly beautiful. Like they're all youthful. They have perfect skin. They have like a very vague early colonial infrastructure. Like there's not a lot, but everyone looks perfectly healthy. And this guy's like, Jesus Christ, why does everyone look so good here? And that's why, because they feed this kid and like maybe like there's like a network of weird, it's from this, I just picture like a mycelial network, like a mushroom network, you know how mushrooms are all kind of things like under the island that like enriches the soil and puts spores in the air that makes everyone feel good. Like the guy could walk off the boat and like he could be like sneezing or have like weird allergies or something. He gets off the boat and he's just like, Jesus, like this is the first time I've been able to like breathe without wheezing.
If we had enough like story time or page time, I would even show like on the boat he's talking about his allergies or something.
Yeah, or he's just like,
or his asthma, and it's like clears when he gets there.
Yeah, or he's got like crazy psoriasis.
Yeah, or he has glasses on.
And like maybe he has glasses on at first. Like he doesn't walk off the boat and he's like, my psoriasis is gone. I can see. But like later on, he's just like, he wakes up one morning and like he's just groggy, puts his glasses on, and then his vision is fucking super blurry.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, but his vision's like really blurry with. When he puts the glasses on, he's like, what the fuck? And he takes them off and then they're sharp and puts it back on. They're blurry. He's healing by virtue of breeding these things. And like, you know, like an anglerfish, you know what an anglerfish is? Like one of those crazy monsters with the little light that dangles in front of his face. So it like lures people. Like that could be what the kid is basically. It's like this sort of, never mind. I'm not going to say
We're going to get a bit creepy a bit.
It would have been
a little happiness there.
No, not like that. But like anyway, like the kid is sort of a lure in a way. It's like maybe even a mental projection or a shared hallucination.
Oh,
you know, and it's just this like this sort of. Yeah.
I do like that because the kid is so disarming because it's like it's like this kind of sweet thing of like he's bonding with this kid and you're like, oh my god, like he wants to help the village even more because he's like, man, this kid is like adorable and like he such a future, like such a young kid. I want to make sure he doesn't die because like people are dying in this village, and it's all bullshit. No one in the village really dies.
Yeah.
Or maybe they do if they don't feed him shit. That's why they have to keep bringing, because the kid will eat the fucking mom or the neighbor or whatever. You know?
Because if by virtue of appeasing the kid, I don't know how this would work, but let me just say the clunky idea. And like if the kid is appeased and therefore the spores get released and everyone is like healthy and young in perpetuity. So maybe they're all like 100, you know? And the bodies that they show the detective are from like 100 years ago, or you know, they're just really old, but they're not decaying.
Well, not even 100 years ago.
They're not even decaying. You know,
but
like
what if from last week?
They could be from last week, but the bodies look fresh, but they're actually super old. Because of what this spores or whatever the fuck. I really like that mycelial network spores thing, and like the monster could be kind of like a mushroom monster. There's these really cool mushroom monsters, and I know you don't play these kinds of video games like Baldur's Gate. There's like a mycelial like mushroom species that look really fucked up and cool, and it could just be like that. They kind of look like. Does it have to be
my celio? Could it be your celio?
It could be our celio.
Could it be our celio? This celio's my celio. This celio's yours.
And then like the guys singing along with this little circle, and they're like,
so
"What
weird,
the fuck? Why are you guys saying all this?" But like they have, and maybe there could be little tips. You know, their dinner, like he has the best chanterelle mushrooms that he's ever had. You know what I mean? Like there's like a really diverse selection of mushrooms, and like that's a big part of their diet, and like the food is amazing. Like it should almost be like there's always these stories from like just general folklore, but also like Irish and like this sort of Scottish folklore with like elves and fae folk and stuff, that like you be in the forest and you run into a gnome or an elf and it offers you food, and if you take the food then you will be trapped in its thing, because there could be an element of that, which would be really cool.
Right. Okay, sorry. I'm just okay. I like the world is being colored and it's getting very well. Like it's very very well rounded now. It's like we're feeling it now.
I like what we're doing now.
100%. Yeah. So go back to monster. Kid's a monster. What kind of monster is he? Let's go in the basics.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he's like some kind of mushroomy looking thing.
The kid looks like a mushroom.
No. The kid. Use your imagination. Okay?
No, I know what you're saying.
The kid looks like a kid, but like on the inside, like.
But that's not what I mean is like, okay.
The kid isn't the monster. The kid is a lure. The kid is the bait that is like, maybe, like I said, a shared hallucination, or like the thing that like it's a conduit to communicate with this
like the
bigger
kid being the
conscious
monster though.
Yeah. I mean, technically, the kid is part of the monster.
You're thinking there's an entity underneath, right? Like
but it's more of like a consciousness.
Yeah, but then everyone else are just humans leeching off that entity. Yeah. The kid is leeching off it, or is a kid
the kid is an extension of the monster,
no one else is.
No one else is. Everyone else is just benefiting off that.
So you don't like the idea. Okay. No, I feel you. I get it. It's a bit.
That's just more interesting and weird to me.
I just like the idea. What's creepier to me is, excuse me, if this kid's like is this son of Satan or some shit. But that's just too
fucking done. You know? Yeah. And you also just kind of described a story that was like that. And this is starting
No, that's not what that story was. I kind of explained it wrong. Okay. But okay, fair. Let's go back to what you were saying. So it's like an entity underneath, right? Yeah. I'm cool with that.
But like that entity could be some kind of Satan or devil, you know, or an allegory for it.
I mean more, I just want to figure out what the kid is. So the kid is everyone else. So say we live on the island. Me and you live on the island.
We're chill. We're young. We're beautiful.
We're taking everything this fucking thing is giving us.
Benefited from this thing.
Do we need to even make that's what I'm saying. I don't know before I'm like excited to make this kid this villain because it's kind of crazy. But now the kid's just part of the island, right? So do we even need him to be?
I think so, because like then you get to see something like the kid could still be a physical thing. Forget the shared hallucination thing, but it could be a physical manifestation.
So say it's yours and your wife's kid. Is this kid yours, or is it a product of the island?
It's the product of the island.
Interesting.
But it is like you are going to be my surrogate parents, and I'm gonna look like you. I'm gonna talk like you. Okay. But then when like the kid like transforms into some weird fucking thing, and then it could do the bile like spaghettification thing, or just like absorb him, like just like the kid could hug him at some point at the end and just like start to turn.
Okay, here we go. This is what I was having.
Absorb it, yeah.
This is my trouble, because I was like, I find that a bit complicated overall. Like the idea that we're exploring everything and then we have to explain that this kid is not really their kid. How about this? The kid, everything you just said. But what if the island, just like with you anglerfish, right? So the island's bulb in this scenario, so the bulb for the anglerfish, is everything good? Is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Is the anglerfish, you know how the bulb, right? That's how he lures people in and he eats them. So this kid is the bulb right now. What if he's the bulb because the detective lost his son? So in this time, it's this. Next time a different detective comes and it's a gorgeous woman because he's a womanizer. The next time it comes, it's a gorgeous dude and it's
there's no one on the fucking island. The island is just like no, there is, but like the island is whatever you need it to be to get you there.
Interesting. I was gonna say everyone is real, but the kid. I was gonna say the kid is the only one that changes every time.
Okay.
The kid's a kid. I'm cool with either or.
No, but that makes sense, and like it could have a name, like a gender ambiguous name. This is Bulby.
It's not creative at all. It's like,
this is our son, the bulb.
Excuse me? Sorry, the writers stopped writing after the first draft. They're saying all this. They're like, sorry, the writers didn't think of us.
2 of them quit and one of them had a stroke and he just kept writing and we ran out of time and had to shoot it.
Why are you telling me all this? Anyways.
That's cool because then you could just kind of do the cyclical thing. At the very end, the boat shows up and a guy gets off and it's a beautiful woman and she's like, I'm the bulb, you know? I mean, not that, but, but that's shorthand now for what fucking we're talking about.
Bulb. It was a hot name.
Cool. It caters to you.
And again, though, like the village could be empty, but I'm thinking villages, we're all real people.
Yeah.
But it's just that one thing it always puts out.
But then, yes, I love that. I just one Mushroom Monsters advocate. My seal. Fuck. So I guess I'm never on technically, but today I'm extra.
Wait, did you have a point to make, or are you trying to?
No,
make
I do have a point to make. Like
you're like, this pun isn't coming out.
Why isn't the rest of the village? Why haven't they been eaten or absorbed?
Because
by the
they keep bringing new people in.
So then, should it just be one small family that does the thing, or like? Does the family disappear when the guy gets absorbed and the new person shows up and it's just like a super sexy or a dude?
Well, I was gonna say this. So I get I get what you mean. It's like, why the fuck doesn't he just eat them? But here's the thing, right? The village is worshiping this mushroom.
Oh.
The village is like, you are, and we're gonna, because here's the thing, the village is like, you eat us all.
It needs people to work the land, yeah.
Who's gonna work the land? Who's gonna send the letters out? Who's gonna be the bulb can only be one thing.
They're the familiars, the whole village of familiars.
Exactly, village of familiars, exactly. And explain it, because maybe it was quick earlier. Familiar in that film, and what does familiar mean?
The vampire's familiar would be the sort of human counterpart to a vampire who helps lure people in. Basically, Yeah, not to get super dark, but remember Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka? Yeah.
So Carla Homolka was a familiar. She would bring people in, and Bernardo would kill them.
Epstein and Maxwell.
Excuse me?
Epstein.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's always a familiar that kind of is like the face of the operation sometimes and all that.
Okay, sweet. The fan just came on.
Interesting. So before we get into, let's say, the writing portion, right?
Keep talking. Keep the camera on Adeel. I'm going to turn the heat off.
Yeah. Before we get into the writing portion, I say we just nail down the beats a bit still. Yeah. I do think the teaser being a dying, let's call it doesn't always have to be a detective, but for now, let's say it's always a detective they call in. It's a dying detective who's getting chased and bile and eaten up. That's the opening of the whole film. Then cut to a scream, title credit.
Mm-hmm.
Then
we see that gruesome, crazy like absorption
Then boat arrives. And our main character
gets off. We're on the boat. We're on the boat for a second because we jump to our guy.
Yeah.
Just a guy in a boat.
Boat arrives to introduce.
He's got like crazy rashes or like horrific dry skin or something. He's wearing glasses. We have to establish that he has some like physical ailments. And then he gets off the island and then slowly those disappear.
Over the next day, not right away, kind of.
Yeah. Like there just could be something like, maybe he's got the sniffles and that goes away right away.
Yeah,
but then the rash goes away later. The eyes, he wakes up one morning with the eyes. His eyes are better.
Yeah.
But what I think we use to justify that is like the monster needs its food to be pristine. You know, it needs it to be healthy, so it like makes it healthy.
Because I was just gonna be like, why the fuck does he just kill it right away? Yeah. That's a really good. The monster needs the food to be clean, That's why he waits.
Yeah, it's like prepping. It's like marinating your food, your tofu.
And
or
maybe
your
there's a
chicken.
scene where the mother or someone is like, "You're not wearing glasses," and they're excited that his ailments are going away because they're like, "Oh, he's ready."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's like imagine you're checking on your dinner.
that's it.
and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's like a
They're
moment
like
of like
peeking in the oven a little. Yeah, that's cool.
the family gets excited that the detective is getting
healthier.
Getting healthier. That's the word. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Okay. Family picks him up. Cool. Monster needs. We do need, I think, a moment. Like, so clean. Then I don't know how we reveal that now. It's like, well, time to get eaten or whatever the fuck, right? We have to find out how, because that'd be a good place where every plot twist film does, where they explain it a bit.
And maybe too, there, it might end up being a lot of talking. We can find a way to show.
Well, first draft,
tell.
we can make it a bit
first
talky.
draft, yeah. But let's try to get to bury it a little bit. But reasons for them not to go on the like, oh, can you take me to where the thing is? And like they're very almost cagey about revealing stuff or showing him stuff. And
Not today,
like,
you're tired. Not
today,
this.
you're tired.
Yeah, the
We
cave.
need
It's
to
called the
eat.
cave.
Yeah, let's go to like take me to the cave. And then the guy, like, yeah, he gets healthy and they're like, okay, it's time to go to the cave.
One thing, by the way, another advocate thing. It's a fucking detective. Why the fuck would a detective be trusted to kill a monster? So is it really a detective or should it be a hunter? You know what I mean? Why the fuck is
But
it
then, yeah, it could be a, yeah,
or do they lie? Do they say it's not a monster? They say there's murders happening there, and that's the thing. In the beginning, the audience knows they're like there's a monster, but our guy's like, oh, there's been a killer on the loose.
Right, that makes sense. Because a hunter, then
He's
could
actually
see
kind of like
a hunter would not be like rashy.
yeah. I'm
Maybe no
Boris
shade
the hunter.
no shade to rashy hunters.
I'm
with,
Boris the. It's like a
unexplicable
glasses freckle.
allergies.
Like
Yeah.
just the whole braces on.
He doesn't need a scope because his glasses are so fucking thick.
Okay, so I like that. Let's change it to not that they called him for
Murders.
They called him for unsolved. Yeah, unsolved.
Or maybe he's like a private detective. I don't know, a private
It's but
investigator.
either way,
or something.
the
Like
investigator still it shouldn't be a
yeah,
monster because I find it a bit weird. They finally take him to the cave or place of murders.
The field. It should be the field because it's like the underground thing and like.
And they need him there
And the
to get
ground could
eaten
be
there so that the nutrients can get sucked in.
Yeah,
or
there's
whatever.
like a mouth on
Yeah.
the island,
Yeah.
basically.
But then it's not the kid.
Yeah, but the kid has to do the thing there. Like there has to be like something. The kid consumes him and then like goes into this certain part. I don't know.
Right, no, I get you. Because at the end of the day, I do like the idea of the kid eating the guy because that's like fucking creepy and it's like so horrific that like the innocent kid is like the monster. Because the kid would turn, because the kid's not a kid, right? He's just like this entity.
Yeah,
It's a bulb,
yeah.
right? So he could turn into this werewolf or whatever the fuck.
The kid could turn into the bile.
Yeah, exactly.
And like it just like it hugs him or something
Yeah.
or like
Oh,
you know, and then it's just like
oh, that's
it
really
just starts
good.
leaking all
Yeah.
over him, and the guy's like, "What the fuck?" And he like starts to melt
And that's how they get him there. We don't do the whole like oh, we should go check it out. It's like, oh my god, they have Timmy. They just come to him one day.
Yeah.
What? And he's like pissed because it's Timmy, and it's like he's like this bond
That's
from
it.
his lost son he finds in this kid, and then he goes to chase, and then Timmy's in the middle of the thing, and he's like already turning into the bile.
Or the
whatever.
kid's just like standing there and he's just like, oh my God. Or the kid's like the kid's just like rocking back and forth or whatever. And the guy's like, oh my God, Timmy, and picks him up. And then Timmy hugs him and then it's just like starts to leak and fucking dissolve. And
I love that
yeah, it's creepy as shit.
because he's the bile. He dissolves all over. Okay, and then here's the thing though: the opening scene, is there someone chasing him? That guy? Then no, right? Because then you're basically saying they get sucked in.
It could just be him. Maybe we can figure that out when we start writing it. But yeah, some
Fair.
version of that.
And then the ending, I do love the ending being a new boat and a new bulb.
Yeah.
It's like a woman because this guy. That's the thing. So in our exposition, we have to find that the first detective, he has to, the one who starts to film, the main character has to somehow give that information that his son is dead. His son passed away or something.
Yeah.
And then he starts again getting close to this kid as like his father figure.
Yeah.
And then when this other guy comes in, very quickly we have to be like, he's just a piece of shit womanizer.
Maybe.
The new guy that at the ending of the film, he's like, hey,
he's just in the fucking fairy bathroom, just rubbing one out furiously. The beginning, you were saying like we could kind of get some storytelling done with this letter. maybe he like writes letters to his dead son, just as like he like writes this letter on the boat and he's like sneezing and itching or whatever, and then he's like, oh, my beautiful son, like I'm on my way to this place to do this, these people are having trouble with a murderer, I miss you so much every day, your father. And then, he throws the letter into the ocean, you know?
Yeah. But I was going to say the letter, though, is to explain the exposition of why he's coming to the
but
island.
That's what I'm saying. He's writing to his son, explaining what he's doing, not the letter that the people have written him.
I get you.
You just do that, and then he throws the letter off because his son is dead. It's like
there's something also creepy about him sitting in his room. I think the family picks him up, the family with the son, and he's staying with them or whatever, right? For that 2 nights or whatever he's there for. And then while he's in their room and he's like maybe doing something or finds a clue or blah, blah, blah. Or the kid's there showing him the room. The kid's like, this is your room. Like the kid's very cute. He's like, you're going to be in this bunk over here. He's like, thanks. And the kid leaves and he leaves. It's like a little jump scare for the detective because the mom's just standing at the doorway. And he's like, hey. And she's like, and maybe she knows, she's like, you had a son or something, or like I find that a more creepy exposition.
Do you have a son?
Yeah,
and it's like,
no.
I used to.
Yeah.
And
she's like,
I can tell you.
She's just like creepy about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have the beats.
I think we got the beats.
Okay, detective comes, family takes him.
Excuse me?
Well, you said he's rubbing one out in the washroom, right? Detective comes to the island, family takes him home. That's his boarding. He meets their young son of this family, who's the bulb, because the island is like
he's a lure.
What's that fish?
The anglerfish.
Anglerfish, because the island is a
mycelial network.
Mycelial network.
It's basically a conscious entity.
Because the island keeps eating people up and it needs food, so this village worships this island and brings the detectives and other peoples over
and caretakes it.
Yeah,
and brings its food.
And they tell the detectives, "Oh, there's a murder happening that we can't solve. There's a couple murders actually." And the detective comes and his ailments get better and better over the next 2 days. Then they're like,
he's marinating in the spores of the air.
Yeah, because
how do we? Because we're talking about that right now. We're gonna have to figure out a way to explain that. Maybe they have to. Maybe there has.
I think in every plot twist film, like you need that moment where it's like, this is why we did all this. Like you have to have that moment of explaining it. We just have to find a creative way to do it.
Yeah. They fuck a grave.
What do you mean? What is it? Saltburn? That was a fucking cool visual though, man.
Yeah.
Saltburn had some weird visuals, but that was one of the. Even the tub scene, it's disturbing, but so visually fucking striking, dude.
Oh yeah, great.
Oh, the performance.
Well
Anyways,
okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll find ways to kind of what's it called? Exposition dump.
Yeah.
Any thoughts before we go into making this?
No, let's fucking do it.
So I just want to make sure because Justin gave me some ideas and notes, but no, we did everything. Oh my god, let's go write this.
Okay, bye. See you soon. And now, the lure. Exterior field night. A wide shot of a dark forest. A full moon backlights the tall grass and tiny pollen-like particles floating in the air. A pained scream echoes in the night. Cut to a closer look of a man, 40s, stumbling briskly through the field, his clothes soaked in a bile-like substance. His footsteps slow and he collapses on the ground. He holds up his hands for a closer look, eyes wide at the sight of his sleeves dissolving into his skin. He retches in pain as he watches his entire body liquefy. A grotesque shriek as his legs begin to spaghettify, pulling toward an unseen horror off-screen. His hips stretch, followed by his torso. He yells as if replying to a voice in his head. What? No! Please! He can't! He tries to cover his ears, but his mellifluous body betrays him. We hear a dreadful slurp as he is pulled off screen. Then, silence. Title card. The Lure. Exterior ocean, day. On the deck of a small ferry, Detective Hope, male 40s, stares over the bow, eyeing the coast of a small island in the distance through his thick-framed glasses. Hope pens a letter, and we hear him narrate.
To my beautiful son, Max. I'm arriving at Virgin Island today. This may be my most interesting case yet. Locals have reported numerous disappearances over the past 6 months. Suspected murders with no bodies to be found.
The ship's horn announces their pending arrival.
We're arriving soon, so I'll leave you with this. I miss you more and more every day. Love, Dad.
Detective Hope folds up the letter and we see a patchy rash on his wrist. He scratches it vigorously before lighting the letter on fire and tossing it into the ocean. He watches the paper dissolve in the wake of the ferry, and he sneezes 3 times. He blows his nose harshly, then returns his gaze to the island. A sigh. Cut to exterior island dock, later. A family of 4 wait at the end of the dock. Hope is astonished at their sight. Their beautiful brown hair and perfect, unblemished skin. Molly, mother, 30s, smiles.
You must be Detective Hope.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Molly. This is Frank.
She gestures to the patriarch of the family, Frank, 50s, then to the children, Mildred, female, 9, and Charles, male, 4.
And this is Mildred and Charles. Say hello, children.
Mildred speaks.
Hello.
Charles hides behind his mother's leg, but shares a moment of eye contact with the detective. Hope smiles and sniffs the air. His nasal passage is suddenly clear.
Wow, gorgeous weather. Nice to be out of the city.
Shall we?
Let's shall.
Cut to interior house, later. The detective and family enter the modest wooden home.
We can't thank you enough for coming here, Detective. Our peaceful little island is up in arms as of late. Charles, show him to his room.
Hope scratches at his arm.
I can get settled later. Maybe you should take me to
He hesitates, glancing at the children.
the scene.
In due time. The elders are meeting as we speak, and we can't have you out there on an empty stomach.
I'd still like to survey the...
Charles grabs Hope's bag and hurries into the guest room. Molly smiles and shrugs.
Hey, wait up, kiddo.
There's a sink in the closet next to your room if you'd like to wash up. Anything else, there's an outhouse in the back.
Rustic. I like it.
Hope follows the boy. Interior guest bedroom continuous. Charles plops down Hope's bag on the bed and begins to hurry away, but Hope stops him.
Hey, buddy, come here. I know this might sound strange, but you remind me of my son.
Hope reveals an aged, tattered photograph of his son Max.
He passed away a few years ago.
Cut to a close-up, a spitting image of Charles.
Looks a bit like you, huh?
Charles smiles sheepishly. Hope opens his bag and takes out an old teddy bear.
This is Teddy, his best friend. How about you take care of him for me while I'm here?
Charles's eyes light up in shy excitement. He takes the bear and leaves. Hope looks down at the photo.
Your son?
The detective is startled to see Molly standing by the door, very still.
Oh, hi.
Sorry, I didn't mean to alarm you.
Hope waves it off.
How old is he?
He would have been 7 this year.
I'm sorry. No matter what they say, death never gets easier.
A long beat. Hope scratches his arm. Molly takes notice.
Come, get some food.
You know what? I'm not really hungry.
Well then, get some rest.
Hope looks back down at his son's photo, and when he looks up, Molly is gone. Cut to interior guest bedroom the next morning. Sunlight hits the room. Hope wakes up. His breathing is clearer than ever. He reaches for his glasses and puts them on, but everything is a blur. He takes them off and looks around the room. 20/20 vision. Surprised, he leaves them on the nightstand and gets dressed. Cut to interior kitchen, later. Molly talks in a whisper with her husband as Hope comes into the kitchen. They both stop in the middle of their conversation and look up at him. Their somber tone switches to a pleasant one.
Morning.
Detective, you're not wearing your glasses.
Yeah, it's the darndest thing.
Molly smiles. Hope sits down and scratches at his rash, but to his surprise, it has subsided significantly.
Must be the air here. I feel like it's healing me.
Oh, great. Sounds like you'll be ready by tonight.
I'm always ready, ma'am. The job pretty much requires it.
Right.
Hope spots Charles through the window, playing with the teddy bear in the tall, lush grass. Pollen-like particles float gently in the breeze.
We'll visit this scene after breakfast?
Frank glances almost imperceptibly at Hope's fading rash. Due time. Charles screams in the distance, and Hope jumps to his feet. Cut to exterior backyard seconds later. Hope rushes to Charles's side. He's clearly tripped.
You okay there, bud?
Charles sucks back a few tears. Hope acts quickly to distract the boy.
Oh no, did Teddy get hurt?
Charles nods. Hope pulls out a small handkerchief and makes a little sling for the bear's arm.
An old trick I learned at the police academy.
He hands the bear back to Charles.
They're good as new.
Charles smiles. Cut to exterior porch, night. The detective sits on the porch. He finishes scribbling a letter to his son, folds it, and lights it on fire. Frank appears with a cup of dark green juice.
What's this?
It's good for you. We need you to be healthy. Hope takes a drink. How's that rash?
Oh, you noticed?
Hope reveals his arm, and to his surprise, the rash has completely vanished.
What the? Look, when are you going to take me to the...
He looks back up at Frank, who is no longer standing there. A moment of silence. Then, Molly rushes out of the darkness.
Detective, we can't find Charles.
A sudden shriek in the distance cuts through the night. Hope doesn't waste a second. He hops off the porch and runs toward the sound. Exterior field continuous. Hope slows to a halt in the same field we saw earlier.
Charles!
He spots a shadowy figure huddled in the distance and runs toward it. As he gets closer, he sees Charles cradling the teddy bear.
Hey, buddy. You all right?
Charles stays still, not responding.
What are you doing out here?
Something flutters in the darkness and Hope pulls out a pistol. He looks around.
Is there someone else here?
Hope crouches to comfort the boy.
Okay, don't worry, okay? I'm here. Everything's gonna be...
Charles grabs the detective's wrist, and Hope is shocked by a sudden, intense sting and the sound of acid bubbling. Hope recoils in pain. Before he can speak, Charles lunges at the man, and the child explodes into a torrent of burning liquid. Hope screams in agony.
Ah! Charles, what the...
But Charles is no more. Hope looks down at the bile-like substance burning through his clothes. The grass around him begins to glow. The air stirs with a swarm of pollen-like particles that stick to his skin. Hope is shocked to see the silhouettes of the rest of the family, watching him stoically as he is eaten by the strange substance. A montage of horrific visions flood his mind's eye. An angle below the ground. A horrifying and intricate web of neuron-like threads light up the soil. They all lead to what can only be described as a pulsing, brain-like heart. A booming voice invades Hope's subconscious.
No need to struggle, detective. It'll all be over soon.
Hope struggles to speak.
What are you?
We are the Virgin. For ages we fed our locals to survive, but we began to suffer. We need the top dwellers to cultivate our land, to maintain it, to feed us. So now they bring others, like you.
What did you do to Charles?
There was never a Charles. Charles is what you needed. A lure.
Quick cuts of others arriving at the dock being greeted by the same family, but Charles is always different. A dog, another child, a fatherly figure. Cut to the countless victims, including the man we saw at the beginning, covered in bile, deconstructing, and being sucked into the soil. Back to Hope, his legs spaghettifying horrendously.
No, please!
It is too late, but soon you'll be at peace with us, the Virgin.
Hope's screams devolve into desperate gurgles as his body is devoured. Then, silence. We hear a prelap of the ferry horn. Cut to exterior ocean, months later. Detective Worth, male 50s, takes a haul of a cigarette on the bow of the ship. He exhales with a wet cough as he approaches the shore. There, we see the same family, with a gorgeous woman in Charles's stead. Detective Worth raises his eyebrows. Well, hello, beautiful.
Finn!
In conclusion. All right, there's another weird one.
17 out of 17.
Yeah, a lot of spaghettification. I hope the visual is as visceral and disgusting as it is in my head.
Yeah, I feel like you were really perking up when you were writing that.
Oh yeah, it really spoke to me.
You brought it like it's. I think the word spaghetti, if you find it, it's like at least 10 times in this script.
And
It's not
maybe twice.
And it's not even a movie about Italians.
Oh,
Hey, oh,
Papa Napoli.
Yeah. Pizza. No.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I got
Forget about it. That was kind of cool. I was like a little bit curious as to where the hell we were gonna bring this thing. Like or if you recall correctly, the prompt at the beginning was a little vague, and then we honed it in a little bit more, and then that opened up a whole new window of things. And I think this could be a cool thing. It's it's a bit of it's like a brisk first draft. Like I think there's a lot of like character development and stuff that you'd want to flesh out, and like just dialogue subtext that you want to put in there, but overall it feels pretty cool.
Yeah, like when we got to the end of the reading of it, I was like, wow, we didn't mention any other villagers, which we said we would.
Yeah.
So, and that again's like you would again like flesh it out, and you'd be like, add this character, maybe a little more like breadcrumbs, like mystery breadcrumbs, so that at the end I'm hoping there's a bit of it, but I feel like you could bake it in more. Is that moment in a plot twist at the end when you're like,
and then you just see all the things.
And we had very
like,
a bit of that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not like there's none of that, but I would definitely be, if we went back to it, if we were to rewrite, that's what we would do. Is like add these like little moments that later come back.
Yeah, it's a good skeleton for an interesting story for sure. And I also realized, like we talked about the elders and shit, and we didn't ever bring them back, but maybe the elders are the weird brain heart throbbing mycelial network thing, you know. Who knows? But yeah, I think there's something in there. It's gonna make a cool poster probably.
Oh yeah. I have a question for you. It's not a game because I can't think of how to gamify it, but do you have a preference? If there was actually a fight, who would you put money on, Godzilla or King Kong?
We're just deking that quick. Okay.
Well, sorry, because the subject was monsters. We talked about monsters earlier.
True,
I'm not gonna be like swamp monster. Like I'm just in my head. It's still the monarch.
I see. Godzilla, 100%. Because he's like the hero. Well, I guess they're both kind of heroes, but like,
is that a plot twist? Is there actually a hero? Like one guy's a good guy?
I think Godzilla is like a sort of proxy or like de facto good guy because I guess this doesn't spoil anything for Monarch, but they say that he's like this sort of guardian who's trying to like keep the balance of the two worlds. Like he's a monster he's sort of a gatekeeper. So if a Titan gets out, he comes and like brings him back. And
Super
like
interesting.
When there's these radiation spots, but like also Godzilla is closer to human genetically than
I'd say King Kong.
Sorry, excuse me. That's what I meant to say. King Kong is more genetically similar to humans than Godzilla, but I don't know. Like when you look into Godzilla's cold lizard eyes, there's something going on
there's
in there.
Something there.
But Godzilla also breathes like that blue flame, so like I feel like you could just scorch the shit out of the fur and like King Kong's on fire, and then you just like crush his skull while he's reacting to the fire.
I guess because I watched that King Kong film, the one back when Jack Black did it. King Kong was just so badass. The way he just he felt like a human fighting Godzilla.
Yeah.
So it feels more like you can be like, okay, root for that thing.
Because he's closer to me genetically. Yeah.
Anyways, what did you like about this script?
I mean, I love the hive mind collective unconscious thing, and I love the like sort of mycelial network thing, and like I do like the idea of a sort of projection from your own subconscious that lures you into the thing. So like that kid Charles changes to whatever that person needs to like get them more invested in the thing. I also feel like to kind of go back to earlier, like stretching out that relationship and stuff like that, and that like sort of need and the push and pull, and like he's always trying to get out to the field but they never take him. Like I think there's a lot more of that could happen, but anyway.
So that'd be your thing you didn't like, is like we could have like definitely stretched out those middle points. Yeah.
But again, like I feel like every time we do this, all the things that I don't like are the constraints that we put on ourselves. So what does that say about me?
You're the cause of your own pain.
I am. Yeah, I am the source and the solution to my own struggles.
I mean, one thing is like I do like that we added the monster bit though, because that's when it came together. I think, because before that, when it was just plot twist, I was like, we were both kind of like swimming into where are we going? What's the beacon? But then the monsters prompt, the second prompt helped, and then I'm happy overall. But it's just. Plot twist to me, like most of my favorite films are plot twist films. So I'm like, I don't think we did justice in terms of the breadcrumbs and the little whoa that we were saying earlier.
And also, and that would be, this is a good first draft to like build on. But like if you didn't listen to the episode and you just read that script, you'd be like, oh, like, because there's a lot of stuff, the way we talked about it and the way we fleshed it out, like you get to hear what we were thinking and kind of see where it landed. But if it was just a short, you would have to do much more work to bury the lead.
In general, to like imagine like this is sharing a first draft with public.
Oh yeah.
So it's a bit harrowing. You need to hear the rest of the episode to kind of there's something there. And like you kind of had this really cool analogy earlier where it's like you write the shit, like you write all the stuff, and then you find ways to bury it.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Well, you got to lay the foundation of the house, and then you got to put the floorboards up, and then you got to have an inspector come in and look at the walls and see if they're up to code.
It's a very entertaining process.
Mm-hmm. Who would you cast?
It's so weird. Since only because, and it's such a dumb reason, but because we said the whole glasses thing, I'm like Tobey Maguire, man.
Tobey Maguire?
Yeah,
because he's like, there's also that sort of like. No shade to Tobey Maguire, but there's a bit of a like lovable buffoon. Like he's just kind of like, hey, I'll help.
Yeah. And it'd be similar transformation of like, oh, I don't even glasses anymore. I'm a little bit cooler now, clearer skin.
Yeah, totally. I was thinking Clark Gregg from
I know that name.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's like a Marvel guy. He's one of the agent dudes.
Agent Coulson.
Yeah. And like Dakota Johnson for Molly. Yeah.
Interesting.
That could
Who would
be pretty
Frank
cool.
be then?
Frank, I was just thinking, oh shit, what's that guy with the mustache from Yellowstone?
There's so many of them.
Yeah, right? He's the voice of the Ford truck.
What? Oh, Will Arnett?
No. Fuck, what's his name?
Cole Hauser, Luke Grimes.
Well, that's not who I thought it was. Well, that's weird. No, that's not who it says 4E Smith. Who's this fucking guy? Okay, that guy. The guy whose name I can't think of is who?
Voice of Ford truck?
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name, man? Sam Elliott.
Yeah, Sam Elliott, but like a younger Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
Like I just picture a mustache.
Yeah. I'm not this like Dakota Johnson. You know what? I'll steal that from you. But you know who I'm thinking for the husband for some reason? You know Giovanni Ribisi?
No.
Oh man, you definitely know him because he's in everything and he's such a good actor. But I don't know why I picture him.
Giovanni
Ribisi, Ribisi. He's like,
okay, yeah.
you know how much I can. Just picture him, especially the older version of the
I would never
grizzly beard.
I know that face, but I would never have put it to him. It's got one of those faces.
I love this guy, man. Such a good actor. But yeah, okay.
And then maybe like early days Haley Joel Osment for Charles.
the kid.
Yeah.
I think 4. That's one thing I was like. I think we made him too young. 4 is super fucking young. Maybe it should be like 6 or 7. Then it could be like
that's
early
true.
day.
But like he doesn't even have any lines. I don't think he just like smiles and nods and like likes a teddy bear.
Yeah,
you know?
and so he's very 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Or even these days, Jacob Tremblay.
Yeah.
I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah, I would definitely cast myself for the voice of the Burgeon. And did we talk about that in the main podcast? The Burgeon, we called the island the Burgeon Island because Burgeon means like to flourish.
Yeah, it was like
that's another thing I feel like we skirted over, like the fact that it was, you know, healing him and the air was like getting him healthier and stuff. Like that would also be another.
I feel like you know, we did a second draft approach to it almost because even the fact that they're like, here's some green juice here. Oh, your thing is healthy.
It is implied.
We need you ready.
But you could have like
on the nose.
slowed that process because he like just gets rid of a horrific rash
within
like,
a day.
Yeah. But
beginning,
that's what we're here to do.
Burgeon means to begin. Yeah, beginning to grow or increase rapidly, flourishing. And it had to do something with mushrooms, so I was like, it kind of works.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
The film could have been called Burgeon.
That's true.
But I like the lure.
The 40-year-old Burgeon. Yeah. Maybe Steve Carell could have played that guy.
Oh, which guy? The detective?
Yeah, and then when he's getting like the voice in his head, he's like, loud noises.
Or he's like, Kelly Clarkson. On that note, anything else to add, my friend?
I think we're good. I think we did it again. That's it. We did it again.
New name for the podcast. Oops.
You can only change the name twice every 14 days or once every 14 days or some shit on Instagram.
All right, so in 2 weeks, we're being oops.
Okay.
All right.
And the fan came on.
Perfect timing.
All right.
All right, folks.
Later.
Peace.
No Rewrites is produced by Adeel and Jono Hunter. Edited by Justin Stevenson. Sound designed by Aaron Harastovic. Some additional voices performed by Katie Trudeau. And the stuff in between segments was recorded by Kevin Brown. If you have an idea for a prompt, email us at norewritespodcast@gmail.com or DM us at norewritespodcast on Instagram. No Rewrites is an independent show, so please make sure to like and subscribe and tell your friends, please. Thank you.